Hi, my name is Shy But Flyy.
Hi. So, how did you get started in Long Beach as part of the music scene here?
I always say that it happened on accident. I moved to Long Beach from San Pedro, and I just went to open mics, and next thing I knew, I started hosting open mics and just like dove right in.
So, what brought you to Long Beach?
I kind of like my family lived there, and I was like, I'm gonna be independent. I'm gonna, move far away, and I moved right over the bridge. So that's why I came to Long Beach.
I see. So, when you were growing up as a kid, was music part of your home life?
Well, my dad listened to a lot of blues. He had a whole bunch of albums and stuff like that, and I would always go because I wanted to listen to what he was listening to. And my mom was more into like soul, Aretha Franklin and music like that. And then, of course, as I got older, I discovered artists on my own, and I just like listened to different genres. And I liked blues a lot too. I found that on my own once I got older.
So, you started, when did you start singing? How old were you?
My mom would say I've been singing since I was tiny. I would like have her sit down in front of me, and I would sing for her, like take pots and pans and bang them. But I was super shy, so I didn't sing in front of anybody else but people I knew, like my family. But in high school, my best friend heard me sing. She was like, oh my gosh, you can really sing. But I was super shy. She was like, signed me up for the talent show. And then I did the talent show. Then after that, I couldn't get off the stage. I was like taken over by it.
So, tell me about the talent show.
Yeah, I was at a local high school talent show, and my friend signed me up. I wasn't going to do it, but I finally got the strength to do it. And I sang, I forget what I sang, but I think it was a Maya song. But I sang it, and everybody was blown away. They was like, oh my gosh, you barely talk. How did you just get on stage and sing? And I was just addicted to singing and being on stage and performing after that.
So, you remember that moment when the people started responding to you on stage?
Yeah, I remember that moment. It was amazing. I think it was cool, their reaction, but my reaction, the feeling that I got when I was on stage, I felt like I was sharing a piece of myself with them, and it's a wonderful experience both ways.
So, how did you get started writing?
I always was a writer because, like I said, I was super shy and I would never talk. I would just write everything down, everything I was feeling, and then I started writing poetry, and then I would listen to songs, and I wouldn't be able to find a song that said exactly what I was feeling or what I wanted to hear. So then I was like, I could write my own songs. So then I just started writing my own songs.
So, how old were you when that started?
I want to say I was in like middle school. Yeah. So it's been a while.
So, when you started doing the open mic thing, was that like nerve-wracking for you? Was that harrowing, or did it feel easy?
It's weird. Like, there's different stages of my shyness. For hosting the open mic, it actually helped me break out of my shyness in a way, because then again, I'm forcing myself to talk to people, to interact with people, and then I just looked at the bigger picture. Like, I get to share my art with people, and people get to get on stage and share their art with people who normally wouldn't, get a chance to perform. Like, that's what open mics are for, I think. It's like sharing your art and getting on stage, and it's a wonderful experience, and I feel so good being able to plan and coordinate and book artists, so it's worth getting over my shyness.
So, where are you doing this now?
Actually, I was doing 3, but one just ended at Public Beer and Wine. That was every third Thursday. I do one every Saturday at Shades of Africa. It's off of 4th and Bonito. It's from 8 to 10. And I have a co-host. His name is Impact. And every Monday now I do open mic at Rebel Bite off of Broadway and Lime. And that's at 8 o'clock. And at this one I really like because, first of all, it's a restaurant. They have like beer and wine and stuff. And I have featured bands, and I have like featured comedians and featured poets, and I'm planning this whole like Women's History Month series for March, so it should be pretty amazing.
So, who are you inviting, or who's going to participate?
I'm in the works of getting that together. I'm gonna have all women features, and then the rest open mic is women and men is open. Just to name a few, I have Ashley, Tom. I have Sarah, Thursday. A couple bands. I have a whole list. So each Monday is gonna be a different woman feature.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have other themes that you have done or that you're planning to do?
Well, because this is actually the second month, so this is like the first month I'm actually sitting down and planning it out and, just going with it. Because I did host the open mic for about like 2 years at C.A.L.B. called Expressions, and each month I had a different theme. So it would be like Halloween theme. I would do, I don't know, one time I did the unbirthday edition because for people who it wasn't their birthday, I'm like, let's just celebrate ourselves. So stuff like that.
You mentioned C.A.L.B. And you had a nice long run there. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was like?
It was amazing. It was so cool because I started with C.A.L.B. Right when it was starting out, and they're like, you have free range. You could host open mic. You could book who you want. So I would have different features, and then I would have people paint live, and had poets, comedians, bands. It was an amazing experience, and I loved the space, and I loved how it was a collaboration of like artists change, their work on the walls each month. So it's pretty amazing. I kind of miss it.
How come you moved on from there?
Well, because the space was I don't know the details, but the space was like being sold or in the process of new owners or something like that. So I kind of moved on from that building, but I'm still a member of C.A.L.B. Like, I'm still with them and support C.A.L.B. And I'll probably do another open mic there,
Right.
wherever the new space is.
And you're also, do you have your own band as well?
Yes. I have my own band called The Cold Shoulders, and we do blues and rock and soul. And we play a lot around town. We just played recently at Public Beer and Wine, and we're in the works of writing and recording and playing some more shows. So.
What is it like to have like a solid band behind you?
It's a new experience for me. I will say that. I've always been that girl that's like, I don't want to be in a band. That's too much commitment. You know what I mean? Like, I like to book shows and just like play with different people and like book a gig and then call people to come play with me. But being in a band, I'm learning a lot about myself, and it's not just me. It's 4 people you have to think about, and we support each other. We grow with each other, and we sit down and write. So if I can't think of something, then a band member will be like, oh, why don't we do this? I'm like, duh, that's why you're here. I love it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that venture.
And are there venues that you're planning to aim for outside of the local area? Are you trying to like move out of Long Beach as far as your band goes?
Well, yeah, with the bands, we played in like out past Glendale. We played in like Hollywood. We played in LA. Like, we played outside of Long Beach, but I always say I prefer driving downtown, like down the street, to play in Long Beach with people we know, and sometimes even in Long Beach, just people that we don't know. So I prefer playing in Long Beach. Eventually, I want to play out, like one of our band members wants to play at the Whiskey. So places like that, like set goals of places we want to play, and then just go do that. Like, we played at the Mint in LA, and we played at the Rainbow Bar in Hollywood. So it's all about specific places where we want to play.
Right. And then when you play there, when you play at venues where maybe the audience isn't quite familiar with who you are or what you do, what kind of feedback do you get?
It's amazing. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but every place we've gone, we've got great response, even outside of Long Beach. And I know that's weird because you go places they don't know you, you're like a new band. Half the time there's other musicians in the crowd, but it's been amazing. Half the time we end up making friends with other bands and just like linking up, and it's amazing. We get like great reviews. It's a good experience. I love it.
How often does the band rehearse?
Usually we practice about we like to play at least like once a week, and if not that, at least just get together, because that's a part of it too. You can't just not see each other for a long time and then just like get on stage and expect to have chemistry. And how the audience feel it, you know? So,
Right.
I mean,
And then you mentioned the plans of getting in the studio?
yeah, I need to record. We need to record because we do a bunch of shows and people always want products, and then they'll see you, they really like you, but then, okay, reality is a couple months, oh, what was the name of that band, you know, that I heard that I really liked? And a couple months later, oh, they'll just like forget. But if they have a CD, they're like, oh yeah. And then they'll listen to the CD, and then they'll tell all their friends, and they'll go see you. So I think that's why we need to record and get a CD.
Also, I was going to ask you about the name of the band. That's a fantastic name,
Thank you.
The Cold Shoulders. How did that come about?
Okay, because we're a blues band, right? So it was kind of like, oh, the Cold Shoulder. But long story short of how we got that name, I was hanging out with my friend Shotzi and my friend Mark, who's also a musician, and we're just randomly at Taco Beach, and I was like thinking of band names. I was like, we need a band name for my band, and then Mark pulls out this whole list of band names that he's written because he's in a band and he was looking for band names too, and then I saw the Cold Shoulders. I was like, can I have that? Can I have that name? And then he gave it to me, and it's history. Like, that's the band name now, so thank you, Mark.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think every musician who's in a band or wants to be has one of those lists.
Yeah.
I know I did for a while.
It's so hard, right? You want something that fits your genre and then that's catchy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look good on t-shirts. Yeah.
That's right. So, what else are you up to? Are you doing anything else professionally? You mentioned that you have a regular job. What do you do?
Oh, well, I do music and I do poetry and host events full time, and then I kind of work part time. But I work with kids. I'm a tutor and a TA, so I do that sometimes in the day when I can. But I really enjoy working with kids, and I feel like they're so impressionable and they need good role models. So I feel happy when I go work, even though sometimes I don't like waking up in the morning because I'm out doing shows all night, but it's worth it in the end.
That's great. That's great. And you've also mentioned that working in Long Beach and performing in Long Beach, and I was wondering, you have a sense, I'm sure now, of the creative community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
What do you mean, like the vibe of it?
Yeah, I mean, because it's a lot of people who grow up here, they sort of take it for granted that this is normal, but it's actually kind of, I think, a little special. And I was just wondering, since you didn't grow up here, you came across the bridge from so far away. But I just wondered if you had a kind of a perspective about that.
I really enjoy it. I guess I do see it like that. I feel like it's so many things to do, and why do I want to sit at home? Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to sit at home. I was like, no, I'm not going to sit at home. There's a show going on right here. There's an art opening going on right here. You know, there's a coffee shop, a jam session. So I feel like this is a perfect place to be if you are an artist, or even if you just love the arts. I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be any place other than here right now, but I would want to travel, but then I always feel like I'll come back here. It feels like home.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Also I have a book of poetry.
Oh,
I also
excellent.
do spoken word. It's weird. I meet people and they know me for different things, like, oh, you host, oh, you sing, oh, you do poetry. But I do all those things, but I have a book. I just ordered a reprint of it. It's called The Meaning of the Blues. So I'm selling that at my poetry shows now, and I have it on my website online.
What's your website?
ShyButFlyy.com.
Nice.
Yeah, so the book. I'm really going to start pushing the book because a lot of people didn't even know that I had a poetry book.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
I have copies, so.
So tell me about the book. When did you write it? Was it something that you gathered pieces over a long period of time to assemble the book?
Yeah, something like that. And then it's called The Meaning of the Blues. It's about 26 poems, and it all varies on different aspects of my life, and a lot of the pieces in it I perform live at different shows, so it's really cool. I'm happy that I'm finally pushing it, like promoting it, so.
That's great.
Yeah.
And do you have another book in you that's coming out soon? Or?
Yeah, I'm actually working on that one too. I feel like that's why I'm selling this one more, because the next one hopefully will be done in a couple of months. So then I want to have like a book release and do all that. So it should be awesome.
Do you have a title for that one?
I don't. That's my thing. I will write a whole book, or I'll write a whole song or whole CD, and then I'll title it after. That's what I do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else?
That's about it. I'm so nervous. I'm so shy. It's weird. It's crazy. Like, I'll get on stage and rock out, but then, like, I'm so shy. Like, in person, like, I'll get off stage and I'll be all, like, shy. But, like, how are you the same person?
Well, but I think that's really actually very common. A lot of people who are performers or who are artists struggle with that.
Yeah.
And they find different ways, some less healthy, some more healthy, ways of overcoming that shyness so they can do what they have to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But you faced it, and I think,
did.
yeah, I think that's really great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
Absolutely.